Gentlemen, I want you to think back, not last year, not last month. I want you to think back to the mornings when you woke up and your body was already ahead of you. That automatic response, that natural firmness that nobody taught you and nothing triggered. It just happened every single morning without effort, without thought, without you having to do anything at all. When did that stop? Because for most men over 60, it did not disappear overnight. It faded quietly, gradually, so gradually that by the time you noticed it was gone, it had already been gone for a while. And you did what most men do. You told yourself it was just age. You adjusted. You stopped expecting it. Maybe you stopped wanting it because wanting something you cannot have is its own kind of pain. But here is what nobody told you. What you lost is not gone. It is waiting. And today I am going to show you 3 specific pressure points on your own body that can begin waking that response back up. No pills, no pumps, no procedures, no prescriptions. Just your hands, 6 minutes a day, and the knowledge that your body has not forgotten how to do this. It just needs the right reminder. I am Dr. REENA, a urologist with 12 years of clinical experience, and in those 12 years, I have sat across from hundreds of men who walked into my office carrying this privately. Men who adjusted their whole lives around something they never once admitted out loud. And what I saw in every single one of them was not a man who had lost his vitality. It was a man whose body had slowed down a specific system and was waiting for someone to show him how to turn it back on. That is what I am here to do today. Before we go any further, do me a quick favor. Tap the like button right now so more men can find this information, and drop a comment below telling me where in the world you are watching from. I read every single one, and it always amazes me how far this community reaches. Now let us start with the truth. Most men believe that losing morning erections is simply what aging looks like. They put it in the same category as gray hair and stiff knees, inevitable, irreversible, just the price of getting older. And because they believe that, they never look for a solution. They grieve quietly and move on. But that belief is incomplete, and that incompleteness is costing men years of vitality they could have back. Here is what most men also believe: that if the response has been gone long enough, the window for recovery has closed. They think the body has a deadline and they have passed it. I understand why they think that. When something fades gradually over years, it feels permanent. It feels like the body made a final decision. But that is not how your body works. Your body does not make final decisions. It responds to signals. And the moment you start sending the right signals again, it starts responding again. The timeline does not disqualify you. It just means the system needs more deliberate attention than it used to. Here is what is actually happening inside your body. Morning erections are not random. They are the result of your brain, your nervous system, your blood vessels, and your pelvic muscles all communicating in perfect coordination during sleep. Your body runs this process automatically like a self-maintenance program to keep the erectile tissue oxygenated and healthy. When that morning response fades, it is not because your body forgot how. It is because one or more parts of that communication system has slowed down. Specifically, 2 things happen as men age. Blood vessels lose some of their elasticity, which means circulation slows, and nerve conduction weakens, which means signals travel less efficiently between your brain and your body. That double slowdown is what dims the response, not age itself. The mechanical changes that can come with age, and here is why that distinction matters enormously. You cannot reverse being 63, but you can improve circulation. You can strengthen nerve responsiveness. You can rebuild pelvic muscle tone. All 3 of those systems respond to targeted stimulation. All 3 can be reawakened. That is exactly what these 3 pressure points are designed to do. They are not magic. They are mechanics. And once you understand the mechanics, the results become predictable. Let us get into it. 3 pressure points, 6 minutes total, and I am going to give you the biology, the meaning, and the exact method for each one. Pressure point number 1, the base groove. Run your fingers along the underside of the shaft, moving toward your body. Right where the shaft meets the pubic area, you will feel a subtle indentation, a groove almost like a natural hinge. That is your first target. Underneath that groove sit branches of the dorsal nerve of the penis, along with major blood vessel junctions that feed directly into the erectile chambers. This spot is essentially the gateway, the point where nerve signals and blood supply converge before entering the tissue that produces firmness. Think of it as the ignition point, the place where everything starts. When circulation is sluggish and nerve signals are weak, this gateway narrows, stimulating it manually sends a direct message to your vascular system: open up, increase flow, prepare for response. And emotionally, here is what this means. For years, your body has been running this system on low power without you knowing how to intervene. This pressure point gives you the ability to intervene directly. You are not waiting anymore. You are not hoping. You are reaching in and turning the key yourself. That shift from passive waiting to deliberate action changes something deeper than your physiology. It changes how you see yourself in relation to your own body. Here is how to do it. Place your thumb directly on the base groove with your fingers supporting underneath. Apply gentle but deliberate circular pressure, firm enough to feel the tissue beneath, never enough to cause any discomfort. Work slowly for 90 seconds. You may feel warmth spreading into the area. You may feel a subtle tingling. That is exactly what you want. That is blood moving into tissue that has been underserved. Do this daily. First thing in the morning or during a warm shower works best. Within weeks, you are not just stimulating that spot, you are retraining the reflex pathway itself. Pressure point number 2, the perineum. This one surprises most men. The perineum is the soft area between the base of the scrotum and the beginning of the anus. From the outside, it looks unremarkable. Underneath it is one of the most functionally important structures in male sexual health. Beneath that surface lies the bulbous spongiosus muscle, one of the primary pelvic floor muscles responsible for trapping blood inside the penis during an erection. Think of it as a natural internal clamp. When this muscle is strong and responsive, it holds firmness in place. When it weakens from years of inactivity, firmness becomes inconsistent, shorter lasting, and harder to maintain. Most men have never exercised this muscle intentionally in their lives. Most men do not even know it exists. And yet, it has been quietly determining the quality of their erections for decades. Every time a man over 60 notices that things feel less full, less stable, less reliable than they used to, this muscle is part of the reason why. Not because it failed him, because nobody ever told him it needed attention. Here is what rebuilding it gives back. Not just stronger erections, more control, more stamina, more confidence in his own body's reliability. That is not a small thing. That is the difference between a man who initiates and a man who quietly avoids. Here is how to do it. Sit or lie down comfortably with your knees slightly apart. Place 2 fingers on the perineum, press with steady, firm pressure enough to feel the muscle engage beneath. Begin a slow circular massage for 2 to 3 minutes. For even greater effect, pair this with gentle pelvic contractions while you press. You are essentially giving that internal muscle a direct workout from the outside. Over time, your erections will feel fuller, more stable, more dependable, not because something external changed, because the internal structure holding everything in place got stronger. Now, before I give you the third pressure point, I need to tell you something. The first 2 points work on blood flow and muscular foundation. They are essential. But the third point works on something entirely different, something that most men never think about, something that operates at a deeper neurological level, and something that once you understand it, you will realize has been the missing piece the entire time. Stay with me because this one changes everything. Pressure point number 3, the corona ridge. The corona ridge is the raised ring where the head of the penis meets the shaft. It is one of the most densely innervated areas of the entire human body, packed with sensory nerve endings whose entire job is to transmit arousal signals rapidly and powerfully to the spinal erection center. Here is what happens as men age in this specific area. The nerve endings do not disappear, but their sensitivity decreases. The signal that used to travel fast and strong begins to travel slower and quieter. The result is that arousal takes longer to build. The response feels muted, and the connection between desire and physical response weakens. A man notices that what used to happen quickly now requires more effort. What used to feel vivid now feels distant. And he interprets that distance as decline. It is not declining. It reduces signal strength, and signal strength can be restored. Stimulating this ridge manually does something specific and measurable. It increases nerve responsiveness in the tissue. It recalibrates the sensitivity of those nerve endings back toward their natural baseline. Think of it as turning up the volume on your body's arousal system, a dial that has been drifting quietly toward low for years, being turned deliberately back up with your own hands. What this restores emotionally is something men rarely talk about, but feel deeply spontaneity. The sense that your body is present with you, responding to you in real time, not lagging behind. That reconnection between desire and response is not just physical, it is relational. It changes how a man shows up with his partner. It changes how he feels about himself in private. It restores a dimension of aliveness that quiet decline had been slowly removing. Here is how to do it. Using your thumb and forefinger, lightly pinch the corona ridge. Hold for 5 seconds. Release completely. Repeat that pinch and release cycle for 1 minute. Then shift to slow, deliberate, circular strokes around the entire ridge for another minute. Keep your pressure consistent, firm, but comfortable. Never forceful. Done daily. This practice does not just increase sensitivity in the moment. It progressively reconditions the nerve pathways themselves, restoring the rapid signal transmission that makes arousal build naturally and reliably. Now, let me show you how to put all three together. Base groove, 90 seconds of slow circular pressure. Perineum, 2 to 3 minutes of steady massage paired with pelvic contractions. Corona ridge, 2 minutes of pinch and release followed by circular strokes. 6 minutes total. That is your daily routine. Before you move on, drop a comment below. Type 1, 2, or 3 for whichever pressure point surprised you the most. I am genuinely curious which one landed hardest, and I read every response. If you want to compound the results, pair this routine with 3 supporting habits. Stay well hydrated throughout the day. Blood volume and circulation are directly tied to hydration. Add pelvic floor exercises during the day. Even 5 minutes of deliberate contractions builds the muscular foundation faster. And prioritize foods that support vascular health. Leafy greens, beets, walnuts, and fatty fish give your blood vessels the raw materials they need to respond. The routine stimulates the system. The supporting habits rebuild it. Together, they work faster and more completely than either one alone. Now, I want to speak directly to the thoughts some of you are having right now. You are thinking, Doc, it has been years, maybe longer. Is it really realistic that this can come back? I hear that, and I want to answer it honestly the way I answer it in my clinic. I also know that some of you have tried things before, supplements that promised everything and delivered nothing, routines you stuck with for a week before life got in the way. And that history of disappointment makes it harder to believe that something this simple could work when other things did not. I understand that. That skepticism is earned. But here's the difference. What you tried before likely addressed symptoms. What these pressure points address is the underlying system, the nerve pathways, the blood vessel response, the muscular infrastructure. You are not masking the problem. You are working on the actual mechanism that produces the response. That is why the approach is different. That is why the results, when they come, feel different too. Your body has not erased this function. It has suppressed it through disuse, through reduced circulation, through weakened nerve conduction. Those are mechanical changes, and mechanical changes respond to mechanical interventions. I have watched men in their late 60s, their 70s, and yes, their 80s experience meaningful, lasting improvement using exactly what I have described today. Not overnight, not after one session, but gradually, consistently, and reliably over weeks of daily practice. What you are doing with this routine is sending your body a daily signal. This function matters. This pathway is still in use. Keep it active. Your body responds to signals. That is its entire operating language. Give it the right signal consistently, and it will respond. Gentlemen, weaker erections are not your destiny. They are not the inevitable conclusion of your story. They are a sign that certain systems need attention, and you now know exactly how to give them that attention. 6 minutes a day, 3 pressure points, 21 days of consistency. That is your challenge. Not forever, just 21 days. And then I want you to come back here and tell me what shifted. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what returned. Because I will be here and I genuinely want to hear it. I am Dr. REENA. And if this video gave you something useful today, please like it, subscribe for more men's health content every week, and share it with one man in your life who needs to hear this. He probably will not find it on his own, but you can put it in front of him. You came here today not because you have given up, but because some part of you still believes your best years are not behind you. That instinct is correct. That man who believes that that is exactly who you still are. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next.